I once had to break into my own flat halfway through a haircut.
David.
Oh, interesting. So, tell us the scenario.
I was having a haircut.
Where were you having a haircut?
On the doorstep of my flat.
Now, that's an unusual location to have a haircut.
You know why? Because he didn't want to clean the hair that was on the floor in the flat, so it's outside, so just to push it.
Yeah, I can understand why you might
have... The more work you can do for me, Fred, the more... thank you very much. Yes, that's why.
Why weren't you in a hairdresser's or barber shop?
Do you want to take this one, Fred? Appreciate that. Didn't have much money at the time, and my flatmate was pretty sure that she could cut my hair. She was pretty confident.
But why outside?
Because if you do it inside, you've got to sweep up all the hair. It's too messy. We thought if we did it outside, we wouldn't have to do that.
But was there a plug?
Huh?
Was there a plug outside? Was it clippers, scissors?
Oh, it was just scissors. That's all we had.
So it was an acoustic, as it were.
Yeah, it was an acoustic haircut, unplugged session.
What was the haircut?
Well, it was meant to be something close to this, but as it got interrupted halfway through, so it ended up that it was short at the front, short at the back, and kind of like that at the side, like quite long. Like someone took a mullet and went like that.
Yeah.
So she wasn't trained as a hairdresser?
In no way, shape or form.
And you did not mind that she was going to cut your hair?
It was an adventure.
Were you high?
Was I?
High?
No, we were on the bottom of the flat. We were...
I love that.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you very much.
They don't respect this kind of stuff, but I love that.
Now, you said that you were interrupted. What was the interruption?
Oh, well, we realised that we'd locked ourselves out the flat because a cat wanted to get in the front door. Asked each other, you got your keys? Neither of us had brought our keys out.
Was it your cat?
No, it wasn't our cat. It was just a cat wanted to get in the door, and we weren't going to be like, who you visiting?
So this is not the door to your flat. This is a door to the block of flats.
Yeah, we were outside, like outside.
So which floor did you live in?
I think we're on the 3rd floor.
So how did you get up there?
We asked some builders for a ladder. I asked them first, and they said no. And then my friend asked them, and they said yes. And at the time, I was all like, I was a bit stupid. And I was like, oh, they're just letting you because you're a girl. And then she pointed out, you've got half a haircut and no shoes on.
Did you consider, when you noticed you've been locked out,
yes.
Did you consider finishing the haircut before trying to get back in?
I had to be in central London quite soon for a gig. And my wallet and everything was in the flat. I wouldn't be able to travel there, so I needed to act now. So I couldn't finish the haircut. Luckily, I'm a comic and I'm allowed to look silly.
All right, what are you thinking?
I don't think so. Why would you get somebody to cut your hair with scissors? I mean, if it was clippers and you had a haircut like me, I'd understand, but with scissors...
I mean, it's got to be a lie.
My team think it's a lie. I can see why they think it's a lie.
You're happy to go with
we're
lie?
happy to go with lie.
OK. James, were you telling the truth, or was it a lie?
I was telling the truth.
Oh.
It's true. James did break into his own flat halfway through a haircut, and we have a picture of the haircut.
Oh, my God.
One Christmas, on hearing I wasn't going to get the present I wanted, I tried to drown myself. In protest.
David C.
Tell us the story.
Well, I wasn't going to get the present I wanted.
Which was? What did you want?
The Spice Girls' debut album, Spice.
It's a lie. That's so weird, because I did get it, and I did try and drown myself.
No! Don't applaud that. It's a great album.
How old were you then?
I was like 10 or 11.
Right.
So you wanted the album...
No, he really wanted it.
Stop right now. So you wanted the album?
Yes, I really wanted it.
Okay, so don't you smile in the edit, yeah? Well, can I just say
James,
stop right now. I'll have that one if they use this.
Who's your friend? Big Ears?
So what happened, James?
I wanted the Spice Girls album, Spice. And so did my sister. We've both been pestering our parents a lot for the album. My father decided he had to tell us before Christmas who was going to get the album or not, because he didn't want an upset on Christmas Day. And so he waited until we were in a safe space with the local swimming pool. We'd all gone for a family swim.
Yeah.
And
It's a lovely Christmassy thing to do. A lot of people do a lot of swimming in the run-up to Christmas.
Yes, because it was in honour of the 7 swans of swimming.
Yeah.
That's why we did it. We were swimming, and then my dad called a family meeting.
Shallow end?
Shallow end, yes. Oh, you're not treading water during a family meeting. He said, right, it's a week until Christmas, and I'm just going to let you know that Ruth is getting the Spice Girls album.
Ridiculous.
Well, where were you then? Because at the time, I looked like I overreacted.
But take us through this reaction. Paint a picture of how a young James reacted.
It was like a storm came over me. I was very angry. And then I turned and I walked to the other end of the shallow end. I did a width.
Yeah.
I would have stormed away, but it's very hard.
Yeah.
Wade through the water. You have to say every now and again, I'm really cross. Went to the other end, and I turned round so they could see my face, and I just sat down slowly. And I was under the water. I went, well, I was thinking this. I guess I'll either stay here until one of two things happens. Either I get the Spice Girls' debut album, Spice, or I'm gonna die.
Which happened?
Well, what happened was, I came back up again, and I saw that not only were they not... They were just carried on swimming. They've got always under the water now, and my dad quickly went, problem solved, and they carried on swimming.
What are you thinking, Noddy?
I just don't think his dad would do that. I think he'd buy 2 albums.
Oh, I'm unaware that you knew my father, Noddy.
What do you think about the 2 albums buying issue?
Well, like, as a parent, I just would have thought that just quietly, like, going off to HMV to buy an album is easier than taking the whole family for a group swim.
So what are you going to say, David? What's it going to be?
I think it's fine.
I'll say lie.
You think that you both think it's a lie? I'm going to say lie.
OK. James, were you telling us the truth, or was it a lie?
I was telling the truth.
Yes, it's true. James did try to drown himself in protest over his Christmas present.
I once spent the night in a bush in Basingstoke.
David's team.
Right.
That's a true.
Definitely.
Why were you spending the night in a bush in Basingstoke?
I missed my train.
Where do you live?
Well, at the time, I lived in Kettering in Northamptonshire,
Right.
Rose of the Shires.
Why didn't you go to a luxury hotel?
Well, David, at the time, I had no money in my wallet at all, and my phone was dead. I had no way of contacting anyone.
That certainly adds up.
Why a bush? Why not a bench or, like, somewhere warmer than a bush?
Well,
Is a bench warmer than a bush?
I would say a bush is
I would
warmer
have
than a
thought a
bench.
bench is definitely colder than a bush. It's more exposed.
there's an old saying, you're warmer in a bush than on a bench.
So where was the bush? Paint the picture of the local
It was right
area.
in front of the train station. And there was like a little, like, pick-up point for taxis and stuff. And then it went down a little bit to the road. And then right in front of the road, just a load of bushes.
So you didn't look for a long time for a particularly comfy spot?
I'll level with you, David. The amount of time it took me to decide to sleep in the bush was embarrassingly short.
Right. Was it? Now, that does surprise me. It was a quick decision. You've missed your train, and you go, right, that's it. And you immediately, like, 14 seconds later, you're snoring.
Well, I actually didn't get to sleep. It was scary. I was freezing, actually. Even though the bush... It was a nice, roomy bush.
Can you remember the shape of the leaves?
It was like small little Basingstoke leaves.
Individual leaves?
Yeah.
Variegated?
But, OK, you have to explain what that word means.
It means there's sort of, there's a sort of white bit on the outside, I think.
I wasn't paying attention to the leaves. I had bigger problems at the time. I wasn't sitting in the bush going, one day, I may have to justify this entire experience on what I liked it. I better memorise the leaves and whether they're gentrified or whatever you said.
So, James, you've settled down in the bush
Yes.
and you're lying there, but it's cold.
Oh, I'm sitting there.
Sitting in the bush?
Sitting there, cross-legged and cold. I had a T-shirt on.
How are you going to go to sleep sitting?
I was scared.
What
So
were you
I hadn't
scared
really...
of?
Oh, it was Friday night in Basingstoke. There were hoodlums around.
And all you had on was a T-shirt.
And jeans.
And jeans, of course.
Yes.
I still feel like the bench is warmer.
So, did anybody hear you in the bush and come and
At
investigate?
one point they did. At one point some hoodlums stopped outside the bush. They said, you know what we haven't done in a while? We haven't beaten someone up in a while. That's how they speak, David. Bullies speak like that to each other. And I was in the bush, and at the time I was wearing a red dress.
What did you say? What?
I was wearing a dress by now.
Why? You said you're in a T-shirt.
Originally I was in a T-shirt, and then I had to put a dress on.
Why did you put a dress on?
Why?
It was cold.
Where did you get a dress from?
I had it in a bag.
Why?
I was making a short film, and I had to buy the wardrobe for the cast.
You're in the bush. The hoodlums had moved on. They didn't beat you up.
I tricked them. I put the bag over my head.
You seriously put the bag over your head?
Yeah, put yourself in my shoes. They're saying they want to beat someone up. If they look down and see me wearing a dress, it'll be like Christmas. So I put the bag over my head, and now if they look down, they'll think someone's left a bag and a dismembered body in a bush.
People at home, don't put bags on your heads.
No. Let's go back to the temperature of this bush now. You said you went into the dress for warmth, but surely the jeans and the T-shirt were warmer than the dress. There's a lot
I
of
don't
ventilation.
think... I think
he
to
said
be
he put
fair,
the dress
I
on
don't think
over.
he took the jeans
Yeah.
and T-shirt.
Oh, it was double.
Yeah,
No, but he didn't slip out of the jeans and the T-shirt, fold them up nicely at the side, and then get the dress and put it on and go, oh, I look wonderful. He wasn't doing that.
Oh, right.
By the end of the night, he's wearing the jeans, the T-shirt, the dress,
And the bag.
May I just say, it's lucky this didn't happen to Melvin, because if so, he'd have been on a bench wearing a dress and nothing else.
Let's go for a guess. Is he telling the truth? Melvin, what do you think?
I think, looking at James, I can believe that he could put on a dress with a bag over his jeans and T-shirt, but a man that picks a bush over a bench, I can't trust. So on that basis, it's a lie.
Oh.
Faye.
I've got to absolutely say it's true. I'm believing every element, really.
I'm going to go true.
True.
Yeah.
You're saying true. Right. James, was it true or was it a lie?
It's true.
Yes, it's true. James did once spend the night in a bush in Basingstoke.